Welcome back, guys, and this is Chris from the Boys Podcast. And today I'm going to talk about my love for the Shenmue series. And as you can see, I don't have number 3 on me right now. We recently moved and it's in a box, packed away. But this is not going to be a review. I'm just talking about the love I absolutely have for this amazing, gorgeous series. To put Shenmue into words is what wonderful, magical, inspirational. It is just an unbelievable series for the die-hard fans of Shenmue. Know what I'm talking about. And it's not a series for everybody. It has a high fan base, a cult following. But today I'm not going to do a review on Shenmue. I'm just going to tell you about my stories and how I first. So we've heard this story a few times on this channel, but how I first came across Shenmue, the first one. My house was always the hangout spot when all the kids were hanging out, and we always used to play basketball, play video games, skateboard. And today we were skateboarding, and we noticed one of the kids that always used to come wasn't around, and his name was John. So we went to his house. Back then we didn't have cell phones, so we actually had to do the old school knock on the door and call on him. And we knocked on the door and he didn't answer. So we're like, that's weird. And we knocked on it again and all we heard was, come in. So we opened up the door and we proceeded to go upstairs to his room. And when I walked into his room, I saw this game on the TV I've never seen before. I had never seen the system he was playing. And when I was watching the screen, I saw this teenager, a young adult, walking through the streets, and he was able to pick up fruits. He was able to open drawers. He was able to interact with, people on the streets. And then all of a sudden, he went down this alley, and there was a gang of people around him, and there's buttons flashed on the screen, and then he was in a fight, and I was mind blown. I had no idea what I just witnessed, and I thought about this game for decades, and I'm talking about the original Shenmue. My goodness, was I in a trance when I seen that, and it was the most amazing thing I had ever seen. Fast forward, actually, maybe a couple months later, I ended up getting a Dreamcast, and I ended up trading Knockout Kings 2002 for my Dreamcast. And then 2 months later, it magically walked out of the house like a lot of my items, if you guys have seen the other video of our stolen games. And I had never had the chance to acquire Shenmue. Now let's fast forward a couple years after the launch of the Xbox. And my dad was always okay with buying us video games, but they would be from $9 to $19. And we would get a video game every other week. And this time we went to Blockbuster. So I was searching through the bins and I was like, nothing's catching my eye until this popped up. And it was a $19 game. And I looked at it and I said, I've seen this before, but I don't know where. And then I remembered John's house watching the most amazing thing I've ever fucking seen in my life. And I remembered it was Shenmue. And I picked this up and I paid $19 at Blockbuster for it in the used bin. And there's certain times in the world when you get your money's worth. And $19 wasn't enough for how amazing this fucking game is. We're transported to Hong Kong, Kowloon, and what a job Yu Suzuki did of making this open world so beautiful and a beautiful representation of Hong Kong at the time. And you could do a lot of the same stuff you could do in this game, but I had never played this one yet. So I was jumping into Shenmue 2, and the most amazing thing this one had, if you open it up, they have the movie. I would watch this movie 2 to 3 times a week, and it caught me up on the game I've never played before, but it was embedded in my mind and I needed to play Shenmue 1, but at least the movie caught me up at this point. But oh my goodness, what can I say about Shenmue 2? can I say hidden gem on the Xbox, because it wasn't a financial success on the Xbox. So I guess I can call it a hidden gem for the fans that knew about this. Oh my goodness, were we taken back to the 1980s Hong Kong? Such a beautiful game. The music, I remember I used to just sit there and gamble all the time, collect capsule toys, um, just find hidden stuff, arcade games to play. It was just unfucking believable how good this game is. And I'm gonna go on record to say, from the Warriors to Halo, this is my favorite Xbox game of all time, and I don't give a fuck what you think. The music, everything in this is fucking epic. There's over 1,000 characters you can interact with. You can open up drawers, you can search things, and what's great about this game, the quick time events are frustrating, but what's great, when if you don't succeed, it always takes you down another path and another path. So there's always a way to get back to the main story, which is fantastic. The game just doesn't stop and restart and then you're back. It's just ongoing, an amazing adventure. Trying to find Landy and avenge your father's killer. And there's so many amazing things, hours I put in this game, and I'm so happy I actually finished it in time to get the good ending, because there's actually two endings in this game. So I was happy to actually get the good ending, because I never knew that when I was playing it until later on, searching it up and going, oh fuck, I wish I saw the other ending as well, but I'm glad I didn't, because I actually beat the game in time. But man, what a fantastic series. Now let's fast forward to about 2011, Christmas time, when my co-host Dan for Christmas got me a Sega Dreamcast, and the chase was on to finally find this game. I had it on my shelf throughout this period because I was a video game collector, but it was the Japanese version. I'd ordered off eBay. So we had one video game guy around here that had it, but he was outrageously expensive. He was at a flea market and he wanted $180 for this game back in 2011. And I was a video game collector, and the Goodwill by our house would always have N64 games here and there, or the Pokemon games, and they would sell them for $2 to $4. So I would always pick them up. I had abundance of Pokemon games, GoldenEye, Mario 64, and I traded them, a bunch of those, and then $80, and I finally got my copy of fucking Shenmue. And I remember just going home and just taking a moment to reflect on the game that changed my life into becoming a video game collector and becoming someone that was into retro gaming. And I just took a moment to go, I finally have this game. Let's plug it in and play. And just like number two, I was never disappointed. Even though I knew everything was going to happen because I had watched the cinematic movie, for like years, 2 to 3 times a week, it still didn't take away how fantastic this fucking game is. And then also, you also get Shenmue's jukebox, which you get to, plug and play right into your CD player in your car and drive, and you never get away from this game, and I never have got away from this game. So what a moment that was to finally be able to play the game I've been raving about for years and years to all my friends. Why do you think Dan bought me a fucking Dreamcast for Christmas, so I could finally play this and probably shut up? But it didn't stop there. We always used to joke and tease about, when is Shenmue 3 gonna come out? And I remember watching E3, and I know I don't have it with me right now, but trust me, I do have the copy, and I have a funny story too. Watching E3 and then hearing the music, do 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 do, and that leaf falling, and my heart dropped, and I actually had a tear in my eye. And I remember my buddy Gervais texting me Shenmue 3! And I could feel his emotion as well because he knew I loved the series and I was waiting for this series for years, just like all of you guys that love and breathe this fucking fantastic series that everyone needs to jump into. The wait was on. The GoFundMe was on. Send your money, send your money. Now, just because I'm a super fan of Shenmue doesn't mean I'm not going to be honest about Shenmue 3. Now, the funny part is, when it was a couple months out, I went to EB, our local EB. I put down the money, paid it fully off for the pre-order. I was working that day. I was lucky enough my brother was off, so I said, hey, Brandon, can you please go pick up Shenmue? Because when I get home, I'm playing it all weekend. And my brother went to pick it up, and I asked him when he came home, like, oh, how busy was the lineup? Was there a big, huge line? And he's like, dude, I'm not gonna lie, the guy at EB and I shared a laugh. You were the only one that pre-ordered a copy. So I was the only one in Barrie, the Mapleview store of EB, to pre-order the Shenmue 3, but I didn't give a fuck. I love this series to death, and wow, was it gorgeous. The music was gorgeous, but I have to say, I'm a little disappointed that we didn't end the franchise. This was the moment the fans were waiting for, to finally end the series. We've been waiting so long for the fucking Fight Land D. We have our hands on them, and then we're let down, left with another cliffhanger. Will there be a Shenmue 4? Now we're wishing, we're praying. We don't know. I think this was the opportunity for Yu Suzuki to put this series to bed and finally give those loyal fans the answers we always wanted. But never say never in anything in life, and we may see Shenmue 4, and I'm gonna be there for it. So guys, thank you for tuning in, for me talking about the love for this series I just can't stop talking about. I know my wife is sick and tired of me hearing it, and she was sick and tired of watching me fish and cut wood too in Shenmue 3 for hours and hours, trust me. She would be like, can we do something else? And I would just be fucking fishing and cutting wood. But thank you for tuning in. Please leave a comment below of your interactions with this gorgeous series, this wonderful open world gem. It is just pure magic and fun and entertainment. It is a joyful series that I wish more fans got to witness or jump into, and there's still time. The combat system is beautiful. The music is beautiful. The graphics is beautiful. The interactions with people, the way you can gamble, you can work, you got day and night. It is just a perfect representation of what I love in a video game. So guys, like always, we will see you with another episode, and thank you for tuning in.